DFS Show with John Impemba and James Grande.
What is going on, FA Nation? John Impemba here with James Grande. Welcome into the Fantasy Alarm NBA DFS Playbook Preview Show. We're looking at the Friday 7-game main slate here, kicking off at 7 p.m. Eastern Time, running through the 8 o'clock hour. So once again, a condensed 7-game slate. We'll have a lot of the injury news here during the live show at 5 p.m. Eastern Time. Myself and Grande will be back here for that one. James, we had an interesting preview show on Thursday. I feel like
you were just being an asshole.
Yeah, I guess so. I guess at least like once a week, I have to sort of make this announcement to those who are new to the show. I am not intentionally cutting James off. In the current studio that we are in, there is no delay. At some point, there's some sort of connection overlay when it gets exported and uploaded. We have no ability to know that it is going on in the moment. Maybe I'll start counting to 3 when you're done talking, and then I'll talk moving forward. That will like give us a little bit of a buffer in case there happens to be a delay. Or I just let you lead the show. And then when there's a delay, there'll just be an extended pause before I reply to whatever it is that you're saying in those shows. And then it'll be like, we're right in sync. But for those of you who flooded our comment section on Thursday, suggesting that I was being a dick and cutting Grande off, not the case. He is way smarter than I am. He's the one that's won like 10 tournaments this year. I try to allow him to speak as much as possible. So I do apologize for the Thursday show. It was difficult to listen to. It is not our intention. Again, as we are in the studio here right now, there is no delay. So hopefully we'll get through today's show without any poor connection issues. And the Friday preview show will go flawlessly. But for those of you who are watching, you don't need to let us know if there is a connection issue. We just apologize in advance if it happens again.
One, thank you. I appreciate it. Not smarter than you. Just had a little luck this year. So you are a very good DFS player in your own right. 2, I will never lead the show that you and I are involved in because you won't listen to a single thing I say. You already don't, so it'll be very tough to lead a show and I toss a question to you and you didn't hear me, so I won't do that. So we're going to stay in the current format. 3, I heard let him know, and I immediately thought of Donovan Mitchell already being ruled out for this slate against Memphis. He's not playing. That was a trigger right there. And 4, sorry to all those that have tuned into the show. We appreciate you guys tuning to the show, and we're sorry that it has turned out that way. It's never our intention for it to make one of us look good and one of us look bad.
Well, first of all, it's always just me. I'm always the one that gets dragged in the comment section whenever the connection issues happen here. So
it's never intentional, and trust me, as someone who in the video looks like it is being cut off, it is not the case in the moment. Never. So I appreciate all the support out there. Thank you. But it's really not that serious. He lets me talk, and we've just had for the record, John.
Yeah.
Prior to this, my computer was off.
Okay.
It was off. I have closed all the programs. I have closed everything. I don't even know what's happening with the slate on, what are we on, Thursday? Which I don't need to because I didn't play Luka.
I was going to say, I wasn't even going to bother bringing it up. I knew what your lineup was. And then I
didn't play Cade. He has 60. I didn't play Luka. He has 60. If Steph Curry scores 60 actual, then maybe we're talking. But as of right now, boy, that would be a nice thing for the people to listen here. Like, holy crap, Steph scored 60 actual.
John needs 3 more rebounds from Giannis. And that time I did cut you off. But John needs 3 more rebounds from Giannis.
That time you did cut me off, but it's like a viable cutoff, right? Because that's a good. I have my toes crossed for you. So we need 13. 12 and a half was the number.
12 and a half was the number. We need 13 for Giannis here. So
okay.
Well, hopefully the Lakers can make this some level of competitiveness. They are down 16 now. They cut it. They got inside 20. So we'll see if they can make a run here with everybody on the floor. All right, let's turn our attention now to the Friday slate. Again, we got that out of the way. Hopefully, again, you guys continue to bear with us. We appreciate your support more than anything. You guys show up each and every night for us and watch the show. If you guys weren't watching the show, the bosses would pull the plug. Just not on the boss, so we'd keep doing it. But the bosses above me would pull the plug if we weren't on this show. All right, 7 games here. Injury news to pay attention to. Tatum is questionable for this slate.
All of Boston.
Yeah,
all of Boston, except Brown, right? I think maybe. Oh, no, Jalen is too. Everyone's questionable in that game.
Let's see. Do they play on Saturday, I guess is the question. Do they have a back-to-back here? Let's find out. Boston does. They play Brooklyn. So front leg of a back-to-back here for Boston. We'll see what happens.
Yeah. Front leg of a back-to-back. Everyone questionable.
Front leg road back-to-back as well. Traveling from Miami to Brooklyn. So we'll have to monitor that situation. Other than that, though, kind of okay. Big news of the day. You called it. De'Aaron Fox season-ending surgery. You had alluded to the fact that he was playing maybe with an injury. Apparently that injury happened beginning of the year. He just
before the year started.
Just been playing through it. San Antonio shutting him down. Donnie Mitch, like you mentioned, already out for the Cleveland Memphis game here. Philly's basically shutting their season down. Paul George getting second opinions. They're going to look to trade him in the offseason. We kind of knew that was the deal. Could have Jaren Jackson Jr. back. That's something to watch for. Upgraded to questionable for this Cleveland game. So again, a lot to get to, a lot to talk about. We'll break it down position by position, which I believe was the result of your poll today, Grande. Right? We again ran the poll. We had a listener ask why we don't go game by game, and we say it's because you people don't want us to. You like the position by position breakdown. We threw a poll out on Twitter again, and once again, the poll was position by position. So position by position is what we do. James Harden is $10,500 here against Atlanta. Did he go to Magic City before this game? We got to get our moles on the ground. We got to find out. Trae Young is $10,400. Did he go with James Harden? We'll find that out as well. LaMelo's 98, Ja's 94. Those are your top 4 price point guards here on this slate.
So obviously, like Harden's price is where it is. Definitely harder to get there with Kawhi back, but he's been great. So if you want to end up getting the James Harden, it's a great matchup against Atlanta. Really, really great paced environment. Trae, not as great of a pace environment, just casually coming off 21 of 21 from the free throw line. It has been the same thing with Trae Young all year, where he just has a massive ceiling when he scores the basketball. And if he's going to take double-digit free throws or approach double-digit free throws, Trae Young has a great opportunity nightly to score a lot of points. And we know the peripheral stats are going to be there. At least the assists and the rebounds have been fine. So definitely can get the Trae 10-4, tough spot, but we know there's a ceiling. LaMelo was good the other day, not great. I told you he was my 3rd favorite Charlotte Hornet. I would say the Bridges obviously paid off in spade. He was amazing again. Mark Williams was really good per dollar. LaMelo was good, but he can't shoot. I don't know what happened. He is so inefficient right now. It's a good spot though. He gets a banged up San Antonio team without its best 2 players. If you want to go there, by all means. Ja definitely has the toughest spot on the board. And you couple that with Jaren possibly returning here, I would not touch Ja Morant at 9,400 if Triple J is back in the lineup. But it's a really fun game. 2 top 10 teams in pace. What's the total in this? I mean, the total in this game is going to be.
I mean, generally it's been kind of high in this.
245 for Memphis, Cleveland. So if there's no Jaren Jackson. I know 9,400 is expensive, but I would consider it for Ja. I mean, really fun game environment. So yeah.
Below them, Tyler Hero, $8,800 against Boston. Halliburton, 87 against a no-name Philly team at this point, except for Quentin Grimes, who continues to be awesome at $7,900 Garland 77, Dyson Daniels in the 7K range. Is it? Do we just keep playing Grimes? Do we just trust that Grimes is going to get the minutes? Like, what do we think happens here?
I mean, the minutes were okay. Obviously, he went from 39 to 31. I don't know.
Because Lonnie Walker's out already.
Yeah. I mean, I think Drummond's questionable. Edwards is questionable. Yabusele's off the injury report. I don't know what to make of it because he played 39 and then he played 31. I mean, if he's going to play in the 30s, there's a case to be made. He's also, this isn't like going to be the easiest spot for him with Nembhard defense and with Neesmith probably looming. I don't know. If I lose because he does it again, then I feel like, you know what, tip of the cap to whoever played him. Honestly, it's for me. That's how. For me.
I was gonna say, the exact words you said the other night was, if I lose to Quentin Grimes playing 30 plus minutes and let it be, and then he goes for 46.
Yeah, and you know what? Like, obviously, I was wrong. Obviously, he went crazy. But, like, I cashed with a zero without Quentin Grimes.
With the 26% rostered zero for Chris Boucher.
So, I'm not saying that I, win a tournament if I don't know. I probably, like, in that lineup, I just wouldn't have played Quentin Grimes. It's possible.
Is it Garland then with no Donnie Mitch?
It's Garland.
Okay.
It's Garland. I mean, especially we see the minutes rise when Donovan Mitchell's not there, and when they actually play competitive games, we actually get to see Darius Garland extended, and we saw what the ceiling can look like with an extended Darius Garland. 36 minutes, 55 fantasy points. That's pretty good number. Pretty good.
Good. I mean, yes, he's obviously in the lead, and we say this all the time. When Mitchell or somebody's out of that lineup, they get boosted. We'll talk about obviously Allen and Mobley when we get to their positions as well. All right, Castle was a bust the other day, but now there's no Fox. So do we just go back to the well here?
Yes, I assume this is your starting point guard for the rest of the year. I'd imagine he starts the rest of the season. I'd have a hard time believing he's not a starter the rest of the year, right? Mm-hmm. So, yes, I like this spot a lot.
Okay, $6,300, obviously a good price tag and a good matchup against Charlotte. Where do we go next then? Do you like the Dallas guys? If people are out, Pritchard doesn't have an injury tag. If everybody sits out, Pritchard against Miami at $55. Brandon Williams is $5,500. Like, what do we think happens here?
So I think it's hilarious when you look at Boston. The only I know Horford is probable, but he is on the injury report. There are only two, I guess, of their top six that Jrue Holiday is the one guy that isn't on the injury report. Like, of all the players for Boston, it's Jrue Holiday not there, yeah. And obviously Pritchard. We say this all the time. Like, I wouldn't care if Pritchard is playing a game that features like no Porzingis plus one of the stars. Pritchard is like, his ceiling is so high.
Yeah.
It's much more mute when it's like both stars, but like Porzingis and Horford are out or something like that. Because like that doesn't matter as much. Tatum and Brown still exist in that ecosystem. So if you take like Tatum and Porzingis or Brown and Porzingis off the floor, then yeah, I think Pritchard is like as good as it gets. And if all of them sit, including Derek White, forget it. Peyton Pritchard's 90% owned, 50 at 5,500, and he's playing 40 plus minutes, even though he still won't start in that scenario.
Yeah, probably not. Now again, we talked Brandon Williams. They're trying to extend out his contract. Is this a sit game?
7 games left. I saw it. He has 7. He has officially. I looked at the number. He has 7 left. I don't know. The problem with him even showing up at the injury report here is I'm not saying he's like not sore or whatever, but he played 28 minutes and he was literally Dallas's like best player the other day. After missing a game with, he's just suddenly the hamstring is like, I'm not saying he could have didn't re-aggravate or whatnot. I think it's just so weird. No, like it just, isn't that weird? He plays 28 minutes. He looks great. And now again, we're doing with the hamstring. So, if he plays, he's great, dude. He looks like the best player on that team.
Yeah.
It's also pretty dependent on PJ Washington.
Sure.
There as well, because 5,500 is a steep price, and we know PJ Washington's immediately going to step into like a bigger role. And then how are the minutes like elsewhere divvied out? I know Williams is basically, he's a 6'1" guard, so he's not spending many minutes out of like the point guard sense, but that is also a trickle down to other positions, right? Like, does Exum now play more on the ball because he can't play the off ball stuff with everyone out of position now? So for me, you would need Williams to have PJ Washington out, but you're right. 7 games left for a month. You need to get him, or you can't sign him, or he can't play any more basketball with you. So yeah, we'll see.
Going into tomorrow, the highest rostered player on the slate is probably Ty Jerome.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, he's always
4,800.
Yeah.
He'll get the Donnie Mitchell run, and obviously a high fantasy point per minute player in a game against Memphis on a high total. You'll see a lot of people go there. You'll have the Philly guards. Butler started 35 minutes for him. Didn't really shoot well, but did Butler things. So he filled the stat sheet, got you 32 fantasy points. He only bumped him up $200. Lonnie Walker again out with a concussion. You know, the minutes are definitely going to be there for Jared Butler here again.
Minutes are definitely going to be there. I think you nailed it. And you could say the same thing for Jeff Doughton, right? Mm-hmm. Because now we've seen it in back-to-back games. Jeff Doughton off the bench, 27 and 28 minutes. I mean, 30 fantasy points in each of those games. I understand Butler is the starter, but if we're just going to play these guys off the bench, the bench has realistically played more than the starters lately. At least when you look at like how the minutes have shaken out. Kelly Oubre, 25 minutes the other day. Justin Edwards, 22, and now he's on the injury report. I know you mentioned Butler played 35, but even in a 35-minute game, and there's no Lonnie Walker here, Doughton was actually the sub for Lonnie Walker, and then closed the first half, and then closed the game, played the final like 16 minutes of the game. So I think you could probably comfortably play either Philly guard here, and maybe both. I mean, if they're both going to be like give you 30-minute upside, I think it's reasonable that you could play both here.
Yeah, or how their prices haven't been moved.
I know, it's crazy. It's crazy.
You know, I don't know.
What do you think the algorithm? What do you think that? Like, why do you think that is with the way the algorithm? Because like it's now for Butler, he's been starting like 3 straight games. For Doughton, he's played 26 plus off the bench. Like it's such a slow.
Yeah, it's like they have like members of a projection team that like doesn't pay attention to like rotations or something like that. They just don't know who's in or out. Shooting guard. Anthony Edwards is $9,500. He's your top guy there against Orlando. We'll see again Jaylen Brown, but he's 88. Can't really touch that. Desmond Bane up to $8,700 if Triple J comes back. Can't really touch that one. I don't know. Spending up a shooting guard doesn't seem all that appealing here on this one, especially when there's a lot of overlap of value at the point guard, shooting guard position.
Yeah. I mean, it's Jaylen if there's no Tatum, but
even then, do you want $8,800 Jaylen Brown?
What if the scenario is everyone else sits and Jaylen Brown's just playing?
I don't know. I mean, I guess he had a good Utah game, but Miami's not Utah in terms of like pace and defense.
Dude, if you are not considering playing a Jaylen Brown team to himself, like if Jaylen Brown just has like no Tatum, KP, or Derek White, you're crazy to not even consider it. I know he played poorly, but don't let a bad game against the best defense in the NBA. Like,
yeah, I know. I hear you. It feels like on this slate though, you're going to want that money for other positions, but maybe you still get to him with the value that's that's out there.
I'm just saying, like, if he's team to himself, and it's like the same thing with Tatum. If Tatum's team to himself, or Derek White's team to, like, there's no way you're just crossing these guys off.
Yeah, it's probably fair. Again, these $8,800, all of these guys we kind of hit on at point guard or have point guard eligibility. We can't really play Oubre because he's been limited. We know like he's the one that's kind of getting cut there. I don't know what Dallas did with their rotation the other night, but that was kind of frustrating. So it makes you put into question Clay and Christie. Levert came through for me. What a big fourth quarter from taking the over on his points, but it was, I don't know. Vic Krejci's back now, so like they just have another wing player. Like I don't know. So again, this position outside of like playing Castle or Vassell, I guess here. I don't know. I'm not in love with it, man.
You were spot on about Jalen Green the other day. I'll tell you that. I couldn't have been more wrong. He was super low owned. Bad Phoenix team. Dallas is similar, not as bad defensively, but they are crumbling. Almost gave up 130 points to a team that knew they were shutting down De'Aaron Fox after the game, apparently. So if you want to go back there, that would probably be the only other name I'd throw out there. The Spurs guys are incredibly appealing. Devin Vassell and Stephon Castle, rest of season, as long as we, I guess it's worth mentioning, do the Spurs start like chipping into Vassell's minutes? Because he got a max contract a few years ago, or like that extension, the rookie extension that he got. He's playing really well. What does he have to prove? I guess that would be something to consider. But as long as he's playing mid-30s minutes, there's no reason to like go away from that.
It wasn't even supposed to play that game. All the reports on him were like questionable if he'd actually play, like all these things. We thought he was going to be out, and then not only was he in, he doubled.
Yeah, he was great, and he's been pretty good lately. So the Spurs get Charlotte. No De'Aaron Fox, no Victor Wembanyama. You can sign me up for a lot of iterations of that team on this slate, and I'd be like, yeah, sure.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
I agree. Where do you go next? Again, there's a lot of overlap here. Do you like Strus at all at 46?
He's not exciting, but you can.
Okay.
Right?
He had a 34 fantasy point game in 22 minutes against Milwaukee.
Yeah, he's fine. Like nothing that like really makes me like excited.
Sure.
It's fine.
Sucked.
Exum is questionable. I mean, he's playing like low to mid 20s minutes. Probably the same thing for Max Strus, so he's not exciting. Sam Merrill is probably going to play a bunch of minutes. Isaac Okoro played a bunch of minutes. They're both like super low floor.
Yeah.
His position kind of was not cool at all.
Yeah, it kind of sucks.
It was you can play
Jared Butler. Yeah, play Jared Butler.
And then like depending on what happens, you can play like all the Boston stuff here too. Like if people are ruled out, so like wasn't my favorite position I've ever seen.
Everybody's on the injury report, but Drew Holiday isn't. What?
Dude, this is what I'm saying. Drew Holiday is your one of the top 6, not on the. How is he the one that was? I mean, they saw what obviously Joe Mazzulla in talks with his brother, being like, "Yo, don't rest Drew tomorrow. He's not actually hurt. Keep him off the injury report."
I mean, if Drew Holiday was active, I'd play Drew Holiday. If everybody else was out, that price is low for what Drew is there.
Yep.
All right, Kawhi's 87. Get him back in the lineup here. Coming off of a ceiling 51 fantasy point game against the Pelicans.
Naturally.
Yeah. And then again, I kind of run into the same situation. Like Franz was better tonight because Cole Anthony was out.
Yep.
But Paolo still dominated that game.
Yep.
Not like Minnesota's going to be much easier of a matchup. You have Najee. You'd probably need Washington out again to want to pay $8,000 for Najee Marshall.
Yes, correct.
And then I don't know, Wiggins maybe at 64, Vassell again here at 63. If Hunter was in at 55 and O'Donovich.
Yeah, Hunter probable. So looks like he's going to play. Obviously, illness is one thing. The Wiggins one is interesting if Boston's resting a bunch of guys because he was finally good the last couple games. The Heat still stink in general, but Wiggins, Vassell, we talked about. You talked Hunter. He's fine. Neesmith is going to play 30 minutes. Keldon Johnson should have a good role. He didn't against Dallas, still balled out, though, even in 17 minutes. But, you know, his De'Aaron Fox leaving doesn't hurt his situation. They need his offense. He also didn't play a lot. Harrison Barnes was really good the other day. Got off to a really good start. Played a bunch of minutes. Memphis started GG, but barely played him. It's Ricky Council. That's the guy. He played 33 minutes. He didn't make any shots, but he was 3 of 14. And another Philly guy whose just price is just not escalating as fast as it should if they're going to play him 29 and 33 minutes, right?
Yeah.
I guess my question to you then.
Oubre, right?
Well, Oubre's in. Oubre played last game. Yabusele didn't.
Right. Okay.
Do you think Yabusele's not on the injury report in this game? Do you think that hurts him quite a bit? Like, I guess it depends on Drummond, right? Because if Drummond's out, then it's basically status quo for the rotation because they'll just play Yabusele and Bona at center, and then Council back in his like normal power forward backup role where he won't have to worry about. But hold on, my brain's working. I'm firing right now. Justin Edwards is questionable.
Right.
So if Edwards sits, doesn't matter. This guy starts.
And they're still going to limit Oubre. So
and they're still gonna limit Oubre. I was just thinking like Yabusele and Drummond active is gonna hurt Ricky Council because they're gonna play both those guys, right? They're gonna start them both probably. That was my only thought there.
Sure. This is Julian or Justin. I never forget which one this one is. But
this is Julian Champagne.
Julian got 18 minutes. You know, again, who knows? People get out of the rotation all of a sudden, and people move into the rotation. Hard to get to, but the 18 minutes were there. Power forward, Tatum at 11-1. If Brown is out, right, we just go play Jason Tatum 11-1.
Yep. I don't know.
Bridges $9,100.
Bridges,
you asked like what's gotten into Miles Bridges here. I don't know. Like you had to play him again. Had to.
Dude, he has quite literally been. You could probably since the All-Star break, outside of the Golden State game, like you probably count on like 1.5 hands the amount of players that have been like better than Miles Bridges since the break. He's been really, really good, making all of his threes, being very efficient from the floor, making his free throws, getting rebounds. He had 6 stocks the other day. His assists.
I said the assist numbers are actually what stand out to me. 5 or more in like 5 of the last 6 games.
Guy's been just absolute money. Absolute money.
Yep. Still very playable at $9,100.
Absolutely. He's been money. I don't know. He's been just money.
If Triple J sits, though, would you rather play Bridges or take a shot again at Evan Mobley here at $8,600? I like this more if Triple J sits.
I agree. It's a really good pace. 245 implied points, man. It's a great question. I would probably say Mobley, but I think you could probably. I mean, you could play both if you wanted to. Who's the top spend up of the slate? You know, like there's not if Tatum with everyone sits, but there's no like definitive number one option. I could see lineup starting Mobley Bridges, right? Like that could be a realistic. There's no Luka, there's no Jokic, there's no any of these top names.
Harden probably gets to be like the highest rostered spend up, probably.
Probably because it's Atlanta. Yeah, it's just also really expensive in a spot that like does feature Kawhi back.
Yeah.
But he's been great with Kawhi. I'm not saying he hasn't.
And because they didn't touch the Philly value, it's not hard to get to him.
Yes, correct.
Right.
Yeah, it's very easy to get to whoever you want.
Yeah. But Mobley, again, you and I kind of gush on Mobley. He is very good.
He's very good at basketball, yeah.
And if there was no Triple J, who's obviously a Defensive Player of the Year candidate, to defend him here, I would take my shot on Evan Mobley at 86. But to your point, your lineup builds might just start Bridges Mobley. So very much there. Nothing to take away from Siakam either. Siakam had a big double-double the other day. He's had 50-plus in 2 of the last 4.
Yep. Sure do.
Philly ain't going to do nothing to stop that. So where do you go next?
Julius Randle. I know the price is getting up there. Dude, he's been so good. I keep saying it. He has been so good. They've looked so good with Julius Randle in the lineup too.
I just don't like the Orlando matchup.
I don't love the Orlando matchup. I like the player right now. They're rolling. That team looks really good. 78's a little pricey, but he's worth it. Tari stayed in the starting lineup the other day and looked great. The minutes are obviously a little bit 26. Was there foul trouble? Let's look. 1 foul there. Check back in. 2nd foul. Checked back in. 3rd foul. Okay. Tari Eason was in foul trouble in the first half of this game. So maybe I temper my comments there and I say, you know what? I take it back. Tari Eason was just in foul trouble. If he's going to play 30-plus minutes like he did the game before and basically pace for that without the foul trouble again, then 6,200 without Amen Thompson is definitely in play.
Yeah, he had a bad night against Orlando, had a good night against Phoenix. Can't see how many times have we said that this year, right?
And in foul trouble, and in like that Phoenix game was in foul trouble and it didn't even matter. He was so good.
Yeah. And if there's no PJ Washington, again, Dallas, Kessler Edwards and like Najee Marshall with the front court there, like how are
that will be
I mean, good luck to them in general, having to deal with Jabari, Shingun, and Tari Eason. Like they're just no shot.
Yeah, no shot, none.
I played a 3% Al Horford the other day because he fit. Turn back to clock day,
bro. He has been so good. He has been so good.
I would go back. He's
Real
playing huge minutes.
How many teams would Al Horford start for?
The Lakers.
If he did, well, like
Dallas.
If he didn't, no. This I'm asking the exercise wrong. We're doing this wrong. Start of the year.
Yeah.
Al Horford's like, you can pick any team you want to go to. How many would he start for, you think? Because like
at the beginning of the season, how many would he start for?
Yeah. Half? 20 teams?
No.
Dude, this version
start at the 4 or the 5 or just the 5? Just start in the front court?
You can play him at either position. Dude, he starts for a lot of teams in the NBA.
Well, what's funny is like he didn't work playing the 4 with Embiid. Those two did not work.
Right.
I don't know. I'd have to go through everything and think about it. Obviously, right now he would start for a lot of teams.
Every team would be like, I want that guy to start for me, please.
If you know what, beginning of the season, he would start for the Orlando Magic. He would play over Wendell Carter Jr.
Probably, yeah. I mean, yeah.
But
I think he would start on I'm telling you, I think that Boston. Your perspective is
he starts for Golden State. I bet.
Yeah, over Trace.
Yeah. They go Draymond and Al Horford in the 4-5.
Yeah.
Anyways, dude,
I didn't mean to derail the.
Yeah. So on that Thunder game, I wrote up the Jason Tatum assist prop. I said it on the show. He's averaging like 14 assist chances per game over the last like 5 games. All they did here was like Jason Tatum would get the ball. He would try to do like a sidestep 3. They would double him, and Al Horford would be wide open for a 3, and he would just knock it down. He had 6 threes in that game. He had a double-double. He's almost double-double in 4 straight games now. I mean, listen, I'll say this. They didn't want to use this version of Al Horford yet. They were waiting to unleash this version of Al Horford in the playoffs, right? And everybody in the league would have just been stunned, like, oh my God, what is Al Horford doing to us in the playoffs right now? Instead, they need him because Kristaps Porzingis is out, and they don't want to just run Cornet and Queta out there, though they're kind of locked into like the 3 seed, I think it is, whatever it was there. They don't really have a chance to move up too much, I think, in the conference. So, they could start maybe like limiting Horford a little bit, especially if this is a back-to-back. He's not going to play both games.
Yep.
So he either sits here or he sits Brooklyn. I don't know how close Porzingis is coming back to play. The illness still undisclosed. So if he gets ruled out, it's full go Cornet, Queta. Otherwise, if Horford plays this game, dude, I'd play Horford at $5,100 again. Like, if this is what we're gonna get, lockdown defense. Look at the stocks you're getting, the rebounds, the points. Like, yeah, full go for me.
It seems like this is the game he's gonna play. Of the 5, he's listed the one listed probable, and then everyone else is listed questionable. So like if anything, we know for certain he'll play this game.
Yeah, seems that way.
Seems that way, right?
So like again, I have no problem playing a $5,100 Al Horford. Jabari's also fine. Again, 33 minutes. I know some of that was likely Tari Eason foul trouble aided. I just like this matchup against Dallas front court. So like, if you want to go Jabari, you can. If Drummond sits, do you play Yabu at 51?
Oh man,
he was one of the guys listed to be limited.
Probably not. I'd have a hard time getting there. I would probably just play everything else Philly related.
Sohan had a huge game in 24 minutes.
He was great. He was great the other day.
Obviously, if everybody goes out. So, did you watch the ESPN broadcast of this game? By the way,
yes, the OKC game. Yes.
Yeah, they kept calling Sam Hauser sudden Sam Hauser because he could,
why
like suddenly score points. I guess like I didn't.
It's such a weird thing because like.
I've never heard I'm a Celtics fan. I live in the city of Boston. I haven't heard anybody call Sam Hauser Sudden Sam, but they kept on calling him Sudden Sam Hauser on the broadcast. So.
They don't need to do that. He doesn't. He's suddenly going to
knock down 9 threes. I don't know.
We've seen. It's not like sudden though. Like he does that when he's extended like once a year.
Yeah. When nobody else kind of
yeah.
So, anyways, if Tatum and Brown and White and all those guys get ruled out, Sam Hauser would be a viable play.
Yep.
Niang's 41. They increased Martin's minutes. He got up to 20, and then they subbed him out. Or I guess he played back-to-back 20-minute games here. I don't know if that's going to continue to increase or not, but there's that. Council we talked about already. Anything else for you, I guess? Gilmar, anything there?
No. All
right. Go to center.
Daquan Jeffries had a random game. But again, it's random. I don't think we need to chase it.
Okay. Şengün, his price went up again. He's $9,900 now. He hasn't really done anything to earn.
Why?
It is another elite spot.
But why is that the price? I just don't understand.
I don't know. You're more likely probably to play Zubac again. Again, price continues to go up on him.
He's been awesome though. Like he's been just so good.
Yep. We talked Mobley. Mark Williams was everything you had said he would be. 26 minutes in that game too, and still had 40 fantasy points.
And the Spurs don't have a center. They have Bismack Biyombo.
Yep. So like Mark Williams, great spot here. As long as that guy can get him the minutes, would feel pretty good about it. Jared Allen, you said no Donnie Mitch. Jared Allen's like 1.6 fantasy points per minute or something insane like that. Well, hey, 47 fantasy points to 6,100.
Yeah, and I think for Jared Allen's sake, I'd love Jaren Jackson to play because then they can go double big and we don't have to ever worry about Memphis like going or like Cleveland removing one of their bigs from, and
Sure.
one of their bigs meaning Jared Allen from the floor, because it's never Evan Mobley getting taken off the floor.
No, it's not.
It's this guy. But to that point, usually when a starter is down, they're like, nah, we're just going to play like this guy who also could probably be like a, defensive player of the year candidate if he wasn't playing alongside another defensive player of the year candidate. So, love Jared Allen, no Donovan Mitchell.
Yeah, Jared Allen got off to a slow start on that game too, because I had played him, and then all of a sudden he was awesome. So I was super pumped about it. And again, this game is a 245.5 total, and the Cavs are a 2-point favorite in a game where Donovan Mitchell's already been ruled out.
So I don't know what
I mean, like,
yeah,
I don't know. You tell me. So I really like Jared Allen here at 64.
I wonder. I mean, that has to
excuse me,
imply to me. I mean, I know Cleveland has a 15-game winning streak. So respect to them. Third time this year they've had double-digit winning streak. It doesn't ever happen. There's no way Jaren Jackson Jr. is healthy in that game, and they're dogs.
Right.
I don't know. Maybe I'm misreading that. Maybe it has nothing to do with Jaren Jackson, but like that, they're all-star. He was their lone all-star, and if he's now questionable and
Do you think Jaren Jackson Jr. is playing or not playing?
No, I don't.
Do you think if he was playing, Memphis would be a home favorite here?
Yeah, he was their best. He's been their best player. I don't think like Ja has had a good stretch, but I think from start to now, I feel like it hasn't really been a debate. I think Jaren Jackson's been their best player.
You're probably right? Because Donovan Mitchell's already been ruled out.
Donovan Mitchell's out. Like what? Donovan Mitchell is out.
You think it would be 2 points the other way or something like that?
Yeah, probably? I mean, not that it's not like Memphis. Dude, Memphis is currently, I think, the 2 seed based on Denver's loss the other day. So like, that's the one thing I'm just a little. They're just either really respectful of Cleveland's win streak, which I get it. They deserve to be, right? They're 55-10. Yeah.
And I think Shaq said he's afraid that Cleveland's got to be afraid or something like that.
Okay, well, let's we've had a lot of Shaqisms last couple days, and I don't exactly. He thinks Chauncey's the head coach. He doesn't think triple doubles. Yeah. I mean, what are we doing? But Memphis is 42-24, winners of 4 straight. They're 24-10 at home. I don't know. I'm just saying, like, that's also not a bad team at all. So.
No. But I mean, honestly, I said Cleveland with Ty Jerome. Jared Allen could be right up there as one of the highest players on the
sure.
I mean, Cleveland is fully stackable here. Jerome, Garland's only 77, Allen 64, and Mobley's 86, and there's all that Philly value. So you could 3 or 4 stack. Jared Roden won't be with the Raptors this weekend, so Toronto not on this slate, but something to think about for Saturday. Roden just went for like 60 fantasy points the other day.
He will be in the G League.
They sent him to the G League.
They said, "Dude, you are playing too well. We won that game, and it was supposed to be the tank off." I'm just gonna say this, John. For people who picked him up in specific leagues, maybe not too happy right now.
That person upset about that?
That person may not be too happy.
I snagged PJ Washington off the waiver wire in a certain league, so hopefully he comes back and plays.
That seems useful.
It seems could be possible. Let's see here. Edey would have to be on the floor in this matchup. I don't know how good Edey will play in this matchup, but they can't afford to take him off the floor, right?
You would think.
I know we've been proven wrong many a time before.
You would think.
It doesn't seem like the Jay Huff game, but I guess we'll see. Obviously, the Murder Cornet or Keita would both be in play if Horford. I know he's probable, but if for whatever reason he ends up being ruled out tomorrow.
Well, and if everyone else is out for Boston, there's a chance they just go double big anyway.
Yeah, that's fair. That's true. I don't know. What else you got? Anything?
I don't hate Gobert. He's looked pretty good since returning. The Brandon Clark minutes were what they were. Any value you could. Nurk's minutes are dead. They went triple big dealer day. I don't think so.
Yeah, it doesn't sound like so either. All right, let's just do this. Allen, Jerome. Jerome's a point guard though. Bridges. All right. Well, where's the next play here?
Philly stuff.
Yeah, Philly. So Butler.
Yeah, Doughton, Butler, Council, like any like combination of those three.
Would you play all three of them or just two of the three?
Probably don't need. I would say you probably don't need to get all three.
Would you rather? Which of the two would you prefer to play?
I almost assuredly want to play Doughton with how well he's played off the bench, and like the Lonnie Walker absence for sure. Like has him in the rotation. Butler's good. Yeah, the ones you went with.
Okay.
And then obviously there's a chance we just have what's his name start Council if Edwards doesn't play too. So we'd obviously pivot there if he.
Is there a so you would play Ja if Jackson's out?
Yeah, it's I think it's hard to get Memphis if they're healthy, and if not, like you could play a bunch of those guys. Like you would play Bane, you would play Ja. Yeah, I know Bane's really expensive, but
I was gonna say, would you play anybody else other than Bane and Ja though in those? Like, I don't know.
Probably not. I mean, they just did the rotation thing again. You know why I forgot this happened. Okay. Click Luke Kennard, please. Just click it. I just want you to click it.
Did he play a bunch of minutes? 30.
No, he didn't just play a lot of minutes.
He hit every shot.
The number 2 rated 3-point shooter of all time went 7 of 9 from 3, and yeah. But so like that obviously took away from everything else where there's like, oh, we're not taking that guy off the floor.
Yeah.
But I don't think you need a run. I don't think you would need a run back necessarily.
No.
I mean, you like if Jaren plays, it's hard to get.
So that I agree with. If Jaren plays, I don't think you run it back, but obviously Morant at 245 total, you'd want someone from Memphis is going for 50, right?
Probably,
for that to come through.
Probably. I mean, if Jaren sits, Jaws.
Right.
I told you they're like spamming pick and roll with him. He's looked amazing. Yeah.
Well, we have $800 left over. I don't love leaving that much money, but I mean, I also don't hate the lineup that's on the board. So
I don't hate it either.
So we'll leave it for now. We'll be live again at 5 p.m. Eastern time, and hopefully we'll have some injury news, notably the Boston guys.
Yep.
Because that is a 7:00 game. That's the first game on the board. So we'll see who's in or out. Things will change if it's only Jason Tatum versus Miami. We'll play that. But Jerome, Butler, Vassell, Bridges, Allen, Doughton, Horford, and Ja Morant as an example lineup here. Guys, we appreciate y'all tuning in. We'll see you again at 5:00 Eastern. Good luck.